Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily English Listening. In today's lesson, you'll listen to a short story about a missed train that changed someone's life in an unexpected way. As you listen, you'll hear advanced English words, useful phrasal verbs, and common idioms that native speakers use in real conversations. Don't worry if you don't understand every word the first time. That's completely normal. Just relax, listen to the story, and try to understand the main idea. After the story, we'll go through each advanced word, phrasal verb, and idiom one by one. You'll learn what they mean, how they're used, and how you can use them naturally in your own English. So, are you ready? Let's begin today's story.
Welcome to Daily English Listening. Let's improve your skills.
Last Friday, I planned to visit my cousin in another city. I woke up early, packed my backpack, and left home with plenty of time. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. However, just a few blocks from the train station, I ran into an old neighbor I hadn't seen in years. We started talking, and before I realized it, nearly 20 minutes had passed. I rushed to the station, but I arrived at the last minute. As I reached the platform, I watched the train slowly pull away. I felt disappointed because I thought I had missed out on an important family gathering. Feeling a little reluctant, I decided to sit in the station cafe while I tried to figure out what to do next. Since I had been working long hours all week, I was also exhausted. While drinking my coffee, something completely unexpected happened. A man sitting at the next table accidentally dropped his wallet. I picked it up and returned it to him. We started chatting, and out of the blue, he mentioned that his company was looking for someone with my skills. We exchanged contact information, and a few days later, I was invited for an interview. I was determined to do my best, and to my surprise, I got the job. Looking back, missing that train turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Instead of feeling upset, I now feel grateful because one small delay completely changed my future. Sometimes life has better plans than we expect. Did you hear the word reluctant in the story? Reluctant means not willing or not eager to do something, even though you may have to do it. In the story, the narrator felt reluctant to make a new plan after missing the train. He wasn't excited about changing his plans, but he knew he had to decide what to do next. Imagine your friend invites you to go hiking very early on a cold morning. You like hiking, but getting up at 5 a.m. doesn't sound very appealing. You might say, "I'm reluctant to wake up that early." Let's look at some examples. She was reluctant to speak in front of the whole class. He was reluctant to spend so much money on a new phone. They were reluctant to leave the party because they were having so much fun. Native speakers often use reluctant in conversations, movies, and news reports when someone is hesitant or unwilling to do something.
Sir, our nobles will be reluctant to uproot.
For some reason, I am reluctant to answer all his questions.
Usually when you go to the retired guy, he's reluctant.
Yes, but truthfully, we've been reluctant to get involved.
Now it's your turn. Can you make a sentence using reluctant? Write it in the comments below. Now that you know the word reluctant, let's move on to our next expression. Did you hear the word exhausted in the story? Exhausted means extremely tired, both physically or mentally. It's a much stronger word than simply saying tired. In the story, the narrator said he was exhausted because he had been working long hours all week. After rushing to the train station and missing the train, he didn't have much energy left. Imagine you've been studying for exams all day. After hours of reading, solving problems, and taking notes, you finally get home. You might say,
"I'm exhausted.
I just want to take a shower and go to bed." Let's look at some examples. After running the marathon, everyone was exhausted. She felt exhausted after working a 12-hour shift. We were exhausted after spending the whole day moving into our new apartment. Native speakers often use exhausted to describe a level of tiredness that is much stronger than tired. You'll hear it in everyday conversations, TV shows, movies, and interviews.
Okay, I think it's time to take you home because you're mentally exhausted or something.
Just exhausted from inventing Facebook or whatever website people our age use.
I know you're exhausted and we're all frustrated, but we cannot fail.
Now it's your turn. When was the last time you felt exhausted? Write a sentence in the comments using the word exhausted. Now that you know the word exhausted, let's move on to our next word. Did you hear the word unexpected in the story? Unexpected means something that happens without warning or something you were not expecting. It describes a surprise, good or bad, that you didn't see coming. In the story, something unexpected happened while the narrator was sitting in the station cafe. He returned a stranger's wallet, and that simple act led to a job opportunity he never imagined. Imagine you're having a normal day at work. Suddenly, your manager calls you into the office and tells you that you've been promoted. It wasn't part of your plan, so you could say, it was completely unexpected. Let's look at some examples. We received an unexpected phone call late at night. The team celebrated an unexpected victory in the final match. She got an unexpected email offering her an internship. Native speakers use unexpected all the time to talk about surprises, sudden changes, or events that happen without warning. You'll often hear phrases like unexpected news, unexpected guest, or unexpected opportunity.
Another unexpected treat.
You're just really unexpected, Akaika.
Mrs. Ronalds, what an unexpected pleasure.
Now it's your turn. Can you think of an unexpected event that happened to you? Write a sentence in the comments using the word unexpected. Now that you know the word unexpected, let's move on to our next word. Did you hear the word determined in the story? Determined means having a strong desire to achieve something and not get... In the story, the narrator was determined to do his best in the job interview. Even though he hadn't expected the opportunity, he worked hard and stayed focused because he really wanted the job. Imagine you're preparing for an important English exam. You study every day, practice speaking, and don't let mistakes discourage you. You could say, I'm determined to pass my English exam. Let's look at some examples. She was determined to become a doctor, so she studied every day. Despite the heavy rain, they were determined to finish the hike. He was determined to improve his English by practicing a little every day. Native speakers often use determined when talking about people who stay focused on a goal and refuse to give up. It's a very common word in conversations, motivational speeches, sports, and success stories.
Something she was determined to put a stop to.
You are clearly determined to ruin this special date for us.
Well, you're rather determined, aren't you?
Rather.
I was determined to get in some fishing, somehow.
Now it's your turn. What is one goal you're determined to achieve this year? Write a sentence in the comments using the word determined. Now that you know the word determined, let's move on to our final advanced word. Did you hear the word grateful in the story? Grateful means feeling thankful or appreciative for something that someone has done or for something good that has happened to you. In the story, the narrator felt grateful because missing the train unexpectedly led to a wonderful job opportunity. What first seemed like bad luck turned out to be something positive, and he appreciated how everything worked out. Imagine your friend helps you prepare for an important exam. Thanks to their support, you pass with excellent grades. You might say, I'm really grateful for your help. Let's look at some examples. I'm grateful to my parents for always supporting me. She was grateful that the doctor found the problem early. We're grateful for everyone who helped us during the difficult times. Native speakers often use grateful to express sincere appreciation. You'll hear phrases like, I'm grateful for your support, I'm grateful to have this opportunity, or we're grateful that everyone is safe in everyday conversations, speeches, and thank you messages.
Because you're cute and smart and really grateful.
I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Gifford.
They're always tremendously grateful, really put the hours in.
I just want you guys to know I am really grateful for your help.
Now it's your turn. What are you grateful for today? Write a sentence in the comments using the word grateful. Now that you know the word grateful, let's move on to our first phrasal verb. Did you hear the expression run into in the story? Run into means to meet someone unexpectedly or by chance. It doesn't usually mean you're actually running. Instead, it means you see someone without planning to. In the story, the narrator ran into an old neighbor while walking to the train station. They hadn't planned to meet, but they started talking, and that unexpected conversation caused the narrator to miss the train. Imagine you're shopping at the supermarket. As you're walking down an aisle, You suddenly see your high school teacher. You weren't expecting to see them, so you could say, I ran into my high school teacher at the supermarket today. Let's look at some examples. I ran into my cousin while I was walking through the park. She ran into an old friend at the airport after many years. We ran into our neighbors while having dinner at a restaurant. Native speakers use run into all the time when talking about unexpected meetings. It's a very common expression in everyday conversations, especially when telling stories about your day.
There's no telling what you'll run into on Guadalcanal.
Okay, who are you most excited to see if there's somebody you can run into on this red carpet?
Bring the gun because you never know who you're going to run into on these things.
Now it's your turn. Have you ever run into someone you hadn't seen in a long time? Write a sentence in the comments using the expression run into. Now that you know the expression run into, let's move on to our next phrasal verb. Did you hear the expression miss out on in the story? Miss out on means to lose the chance to experience, enjoy, or receive something. It often happens when you're unable to take part in an event or opportunity. In the story, the narrator thought he had missed out on an important family gathering after missing the train. He believed he had lost the opportunity to spend time with his family. Imagine your friends go to a concert, but you can't go because you're sick. Later, they tell you how amazing it was. You might say, I really missed out on a great concert. Let's look at some examples. She missed out on the school trip because she was ill. If you don't apply before the deadline, you'll miss out on the opportunity. We arrived too late and missed out on the free tickets. Native speakers often use miss out on when talking about opportunities, experiences, events, or special offers that they couldn't enjoy. It's a very common expression in everyday English.
Well, when you're young and you plunge into marriage, you kind of miss out on little details like that.
But I'm not going to let you miss out on the rock mecca of the Midwest.
Ooh, that's a pity, because young men who don't do their studies often miss out on more amusing activities.
Now it's your turn. Have you ever missed out on something you really wanted to do? Write a sentence in the comments using the expression miss out on. Now that you know the expression miss out on, let's move on to our next phrasal verb. Did you hear the expression figure out in the story? Figure out means to understand something or find the answer to a problem after thinking about it. It can also mean finding a way to do something. In the story, after missing the train, the narrator sat in the station cafe and tried to figure out what to do next. He needed to think carefully and decide on his next step. Imagine you're assembling a new piece of furniture. You look at the instructions, but they're a little confusing. After a few minutes of thinking and trying different pieces, you finally understand how everything fits together. You could say, I finally figured out how to put it together. Let's look at some examples. I can't figure out how this app works. She figured out the answer after thinking about it for a while. We need to figure out the best way to get to the airport. Native speakers use figure out all the time when they solve problems, understand something new, or make a decision. It's one of the most common phrasal verbs in everyday English.
What did you figure out?
I'm just here to figure out which one I want. I gotta figure out what outfit I'm gonna wear.
But it's not something you have to figure out all by yourself.
Now it's your turn. What's something you recently figured out? Write a sentence in the comments using the expression figure out. Now that you know the expression figure out, let's move on to our final phrasal verb. Did you hear the expression end up in the story? End up means to finally be in a particular place, situation, or condition, especially when it wasn't planned or expected. In the story, the narrator ended up getting a new job after missing the train. He never planned for that to happen, but a simple, unexpected event completely changed the outcome of his day. Imagine you're planning to stay home all weekend. Then, a friend invites you on a short road trip. You decide to go, and you have an amazing time. Later, you could say, I ended up spending the weekend at the beach instead of staying home. Let's look at some examples. We took the wrong road and ended up in a small village. He studied engineering, but ended up becoming a photographer. I only wanted to buy one book, but I ended up buying 5. Native speakers use end up very often when talking about surprising results or how a situation finally turned out. You'll hear expressions like end up doing something, end up somewhere, and end up with something in everyday conversations.
It'll be too hard for them to recover from, and then Phoebe will end up alone again.
Of course, it's going to end up on the friendship tip.
My judgment and my discretion are the only reasons your ass didn't end up in jail 5 years ago.
Now it's your turn. Have you ever ended up somewhere or done something that you hadn't planned? Write a sentence in the comments using the expression end up. Now that you know the expression end up, let's move on to our first idiom. Did you hear the idiom blessing in disguise in the story? A blessing in disguise is something that seems bad or unlucky at first, but later turns out to be something good. In the story, missing the train felt like a terrible mistake. The narrator thought he had lost the chance to attend an important family gathering. However, that unexpected delay led him to meet someone who offered him a job opportunity. In the end, missing the train became a blessing in disguise. Imagine you don't get accepted into your first choice university. At first, you're very disappointed. Later, you attend another university, meet wonderful friends, and discover a career you truly love. Looking back, you might say, not getting into my first choice university was actually a blessing in disguise. Let's look at some examples. Losing that job was a blessing in disguise because it helped her find a much better one. The heavy rain was a blessing in disguise because it prevented us from driving during a dangerous storm. Missing the flight turned out to be a blessing in disguise when we learned the flight had been delayed for several hours. Native speakers often use blessing in disguise when reflecting on difficult experiences that eventually lead to positive outcomes. It's a common idiom in conversations, books, movies, and motivational speeches.
Well, it may seem like it now, Willie, but it's really a blessing in disguise.
Well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise then.
I'm simply pointing out that this could be a blessing in disguise.
Now it's your turn. Can you think of a time when something bad turned out to be good? Write a sentence in the comments using the idiom blessing in disguise. Now that you know the idiom blessing in disguise, let's move on to our next idiom. Did you hear the idiom at the last minute in the story? At the last minute means just before it's too late or right before a deadline or event. It describes doing something at the very end, with almost no time left. In the story, the narrator arrived at the train station at the last minute. Unfortunately, he was just a little too late, and the train had already started to leave. Imagine you have a school assignment due tomorrow. You spend the whole week doing other things and finally start working on it the night before it's due. You could say, I finished my assignment at the last minute. Let's look at some examples. They booked their vacation at the last minute and still found a great hotel. He remembered his passport at the last minute before leaving for the airport. We made a few changes to the presentation at the last minute. Native speakers often use at the last minute when talking about rushing to finish something or making a decision just before a deadline. It's a very common expression in everyday English.
The last minute there was a problem, so we had to change venues.
She had a problem on another show, and she had to bail at the last minute.
God, Tom could fill in at the last minute.
Now it's your turn. Have you ever done something at the last minute? Write a sentence in the comments using the idiom at the last minute. Now that you know the idiom at the last minute, let's move on to our final idiom. Did you hear the idiom out of the blue in the story? Out of the blue means something happens suddenly and unexpectedly, without any warning or sign that it was going to happen. In the story, while the narrator was sitting in the station cafe, a stranger out of the blue mentioned that his company was looking for someone with the narrator's skills. It was a completely unexpected conversation that led to a life-changing opportunity. Imagine you're having a normal day when an old friend you haven't spoken to in years suddenly calls you. You weren't expecting to hear from them at all. You could say, my old friend called me out of the blue yesterday. Let's look at some examples. Out of the blue, she received a scholarship to study abroad. He quit his job out of the blue, and everyone was surprised. We were talking about our vacation when, out of the blue, it started to snow. Native speakers often use out of the blue when talking about surprising news, unexpected phone calls, sudden opportunities, or events that no one saw coming. It's a very common idiom in everyday English.
This morning, out of the blue,
He walked into my shop here about 5 or 6 years ago. Right out of the blue, asking for a job.
It's not something that comes out of the blue and disappears as quickly.
Now it's your turn. Has anything exciting or surprising ever happened to you out of the blue? Write a sentence in the comments using the idiom out of the blue.
Great job.
You've just learned today's 5 advanced words, 4 phrasal verbs, and 3 idioms. Now it's time to test yourself. I'm going to play the story one more time. This time, listen carefully and see if you can understand the words and expressions that seemed difficult the first time. Can you recognize their meanings without looking at the explanations? Let's listen to the story again. Last Friday, I planned to visit my cousin in another city. I woke up early, packed my backpack, and left home with plenty of time. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. However, just a few blocks from the train station, I ran into an old neighbor I hadn't seen in years. We started talking, and before I realized it, nearly 20 minutes had passed. I rushed to the station, but I arrived at the last minute. As I reached the platform, I watched the train slowly pull away. I felt disappointed because I thought I had missed out on an important family gathering. Feeling a little reluctant, I decided to sit in the station cafe while I tried to figure out what to do next. Since I had been working long hours all week, I was also exhausted. While drinking my coffee, something completely unexpected happened. A man sitting at the next table accidentally dropped his wallet. I picked it up and returned it to him. We started chatting, and out of the blue, he mentioned that his company was looking for someone with my skills. We exchanged contact information, and a few days later, I was invited for an interview. I was determined to do my best, and to my surprise, I got the job. Looking back, missing that train turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Instead of feeling upset, I now feel grateful because one small delay completely changed my future. Sometimes life has better plans than we expect. Welcome back. I hope you understood the story much better this time. Listening to the same story again is one of the best ways to improve your vocabulary and listening skills. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are learning English. And if you want to improve your English through interesting stories, useful vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and idioms, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep practicing your English every day. I'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.